In my 25 years of existing, very few games have ever hijacked my life and completely demolished my sleep schedule quite to the same degree as Stardew Valley. And with update 1.6 on the horizon for consoles, I thought what better time than now to finally take a trip to my granddad's farm and absolutely shit all over his legacy while attempting to get the Platinum Trophy. And accomplishing said goal takes an eternity, as you have to accumulate 10 million gold, cook every recipe, craft every item, ship every item, catch every fish, socialize with people, and finally complete Fector's challenge. Oh my god, ridiculous. What the f***? What? What the f***? What? So without further ado, let me show you my journey to Stardew Valley's Platinum Trophy. Starting the game off, we're shown that our character is working a 9 to 5, a content creator's worst nightmare, and we receive a letter from our dearly departed Pop Pop, which details that he has gifted us his lovely farm.
Balderon Farm, let's go.
Without hesitation, we take a bus down to the valley and are greeted by the local carpenter, Robin. Hello, Robin.
Must be Lord Bald.
And after getting settled into our new home thanks to the help from Robin and Mayor Lewis, I cleared out a space to plant some parsnips, socialize with the locals, and immediately made a rookie mistake. I thought that was a storage unit. I thought that was a storage unit. I just threw away everything. That's fucking great. I then spent the rest of the day trying to find out who I'd want to rizz up for the remainder of the playthrough, as there are several trophies tied to doing so, and I eventually landed on 3 potential candidates: Haley, Penny, and Elliot. The latter 2 I had interacted with a few times before, but it was Haley who remained elusive, and it made it worse that she was kind of my #1 choice. But after wasting the day away, I finally found her. Ah, here you are. Finally found you. Why you gotta do me like that? What the f? Alright. I'm over Haley. Haley's last here, you know? It's all about Penny now. Following that, I became quickly overwhelmed with my overgrown farm situation, so like with most responsibilities in my life, I told myself I'd do it tomorrow, and instead became interested in fishing. Shad. Shad. It wasn't long before I earned my first trophy, Fisherman, for catching 10 different fish. And I'm glad I started fishing early, as this game is built around a seasonal system. To explain a bit, this game has 4 months in a year, each month representing the 4 seasons of the year. Each season has its own exclusive flora and fauna, that's plant and animal life for those who touch grass, and if you were to miss out on a fish that was exclusive to, say, the spring season, well, you're gonna have to wait a full in-game year to get it again. And so thankfully I spent most of the first spring season catching every fish available, except for this, but we'll get back to that later. And by grinding out fishing, I earned a few trophies. Mother Catch for catching 100 fish in general, Ol' Mariner for catching 24 different kinds of fish, and thanks to the destruction of the local aquatic population, I earned 50,000 gold in total, which would earn me 2 trophies as well. In between my Rizzler and Wildlife Massacre adventures, I would take a dive into the local cave system and kill whatever I see and take whatever I want. Am I the bad guy? The purpose of this is to, well, for one, get good ore to make better quality tools and such, but to also get the trophy that's named after me, the Bottom, which is for reaching the 120th floor of the mines. While I was making progress towards that, the town held a flower dance festival, and I figured now was my time to make a real move on the girl of my virtual dreams. Please. Please. Please be nice to me.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Okay, I didn't want to fucking dance anyways. Not long after this came the close of spring and the beginning of summer, and with the experience and knowledge that I had gained over time, I devised a plan to make sure that this season is much more efficient and productive than the last. First off, I made it a priority to catch every summer exclusive fish so I don't have to worry about waiting a whole ass year to get another opportunity at catching a red mullet. This also meant that I had to attempt to catch my first of the 5 legendary fish, the crimson fish.
First try? Let's go, dude. I'm gonna drink to that.
Second, I would actually invest the time into completing the community center, which I neglected to do during the spring season as I was ignorant of its purpose. Basically, completing the bundles in the community center requires an assortment of items ranging all seasons in the game. It takes a whole in-game year to complete this monumental task, and by completing said bundles, you'll unlock several things around Pelican Town that'll make your life all the more better, such as a minecart that gets you around town faster, a bus that takes you to the desert which has way better loot, or even access to a quarry that gives you jack shit. Oh wow, a golden scythe? While doing all this, I proceeded to make more and more progress in the mines and first made it to the 100th floor, which gave me my first star drop, which not only permanently improves your energy levels, but it also gets us one step closer to the Mystery of the Star Drops trophy. And not long after that, I fulfilled my destiny by becoming a bottom. Reaching the bottom of the mines, thus unlocking the bottom trophy. My reward for reaching the bottom is the Skull Key, which allows me to have access to the Skull Caverns, which is a much harder version of the mines with far better loot to be found. However, I needed to repair the bus first in order to even access it. And while I've been exhausting the local mines of its precious resources, I found various geodes which can be broken by the blacksmith, Clint, and receive minerals to donate to the museum. Now to explain the museum. I know, there is a lot to juggle in this game, just please bear with me. Throughout your adventures in Stardew Valley, you have a random chance of coming upon artifacts and minerals that can be donated to the local museum, and for a trophy you have to find and donate every single one. Artifacts can be found via fishing, rare drops from monsters, digging up worm spots, as well as breaking artifact troves, among a few other niche ways. And minerals can be acquired by breaking stones or nodes, being forged in the mines or skull caverns, or through breaking open the various kinds of geodes. But the bottom line is that it's down to f***ing luck. And no, PC players, I didn't ask for your unsolicited advice about RNG manipulation. With all that said, upon my exit from the bottom of the mines, I went over to the blacksmith to break open some geodes and got a mineral that I was missing and promptly donated it to the museum, which popped the Treasure Trove trophy.
Hey, treasure trove. That's for donating 40 different items to the museum. Let's go.
As you could probably tell, I was still neglecting the farm and was fishing instead because I got the Singular Talent Trophy for leveling up a skill to level 10, which was, in fact, fishing. And trust me when I say my fishing is justified, as I made some decent progress with the required fish for the community center, and even completed the Vault Bundle, which repairs the bus and unlocks access to the desert, where I can finally face some kind of challenge in this game. On second thought, maybe I wasn't ready for the Skull Caverns, but now that I had some sense knocked into my bald, I figured it was finally time I would start making some moves on Penny and get the romance arc of the video started properly. You see, in order to increase your relationship with the villagers of Pelican Town, you have to talk to each individual every day and gift them an item that they at least like 2 times a week. In this case, I had a surplus of diamonds, so I decided that would be my designated gift to Penny, since that is one of her loved items.
That's fucked up. What?
Eventually fall comes around, which means more responsibilities to keep track of. However, I wanted to go visit my favorite nerd at her place, and as I entered, I see that she needs a little bit of tidying up around the place, in which, same. And then kinda get bitched out by her mom, but luckily I got a trophy out of it, which makes this little turbo nerd happy. I then proceeded to increase my relationship with Penny and eventually made it to 8 hearts with her, which means that I now have to purchase a bouquet in order to reach 10 hearts with her.
Penny, I got something for you. Absolutely. What does this mean? Yes! Digitally dating a not real person. Let's go.
As I work diligently towards 10 hearts with Penny, I make sure to catch every fall exclusive fish, donate more artifacts and minerals to the museum, and chip away at progress towards completing the community center. And about halfway through fall is the Stardew Valley Fair, so I made sure to prep as much as I could to win the competition and earn enough points to afford the star drop that is up for trade.
Nice.
Not even a few days later, I'd have a picnic with Penny, Vincent, and Jess, and afterwards I'd visit her in the museum and get the Best Friends trophy for reaching 10 hearts with someone. And in the following morning, I would receive a promiscuous letter in the mail.
All right. Ooh, okay, Penny, we're getting a little spicy. Oh, here we go. No, I got it. I just got lost coming in. I kind of slipped and broke my head open, but we're good. Aww. All right. Were you watching? You f***ing creep. What the hell?
In the morning after that, the additions to my house were complete, which would pop the Moving Up trophy. And within the same night, I earned 250k gold in total, which also popped the Homesteader trophy at the same time. Oh, and another thing, I got the Monoculture trophy a few days before, but it felt weird to interject the love story with that, so I just kind of put it here in the script, so yeah. Oh, and I also caught both the anglerfish and the mutant carp in the middle of that as well, which are both legendary fish. But after tricking Penny into marrying a bald man, enough time had passed in fall for winter to finally arrive. Now winter is what I like to call the farm vibe check, as you can't grow any crops on your farm during the season, with the exception of winter seeds. So you basically have to find alternative methods of generating revenue such as farm animals, fishing, or selling the same goddamn artifact for the 173rd f***ing time. But instead, I opted with a method that the Stardew Kinnies like to call clay farming. Now if you don't know what clay farming is, congratulations. Keep it that way. No, but basically, using a hoe to acquire clay, or in this case, winter forageables, isn't random and is instead determined on which tile you hoe, which would develop a pattern. You can then abuse said pattern to almost always find clay and turn a huge profit each day. I would provide more empirical evidence as to how this works, but I don't have a degree in Stardew Valley cheese, so I'd rather direct you to this video made by Joe TG, who can tell you exactly how this works. But the bottom line is, I got the bag this season. While doing that, I would also make sure to catch all the season-exclusive fish, including the glacier fish, which is this season's legendary fish. And, he's a slippery bastard.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. I gotta learn how to counteract this. Okay, this fish is not annoying to catch at all. Bro. This fish can eat my hole. What are you supposed to do to counteract that? Oh, okay, like that. There we go. That was super anticlimactic.
A few days later, I would wake up one morning and Penny would give me a star drop, and as you can tell by my reaction, I wasn't sure what I did to deserve it, but I guess that's love, isn't it? But getting back to the topic of fishing, I made sure to catch the 3 fish that were exclusive to the night market, which is a 3-day event that occurs during winter. don't forget about these fish, as this is the only time you can get them. And while there, I got a new hat to silence my baldness.
Oh, this is staying on. This hat stays on during sex.
Shortly after that, I finally crafted 15 different items. I know almost a year into the game is pretty wild, but doing so pops the DIY trophy.
It's the cuck chair. If I was with Emily, Clint would be sitting in this. Okay, I'm done.
Following that, we arrive at the beginning of the second year, which is when I started to finally make some serious progress with the community center, as I completed the crafts room bundle, which unlocks access to the quarry, which was completely useless by this point. But getting back to the topic of spring, I waited a whole ass 11 days before finally getting a rainy day, which meant it was time for me to take on the last legendary fish I needed, the legend.
Wow, first try, huh? What the hell? I stacked the odds completely in my favor, sure, but first try.
Small tangent, I happened to have some maple syrup on my person as I entered the secret forest, and well, this happened.
Oh, here we go. Nice little cutscene. Is that a bear? You can talk? Why am I surprised? Why am I surprised? This game has weird shit.
It's not every day I get to speak to a human. Looks like you've got a little forest magic in you. It's my favorite sauce. It makes me very happy. You've made a friend today, Lord Bald.
Yeah, I hope we're just friends. Stay away from me. I know what happens in Baldur's Gate.
I've got something special I want to show you.
Okay. That does not read well with that voice.
I then made the wise choice of cleaning up my farm so that it looked more presentable and farm-like, having wasted a whole year deleting the entire aquatic ecosystem. And the first step I made was to upgrade my house once more, which popped the Living Large trophy. And in an attempt to build some relationships with the townsfolk to do some light work towards the friendship trophies, I ended up completing 10 requests which would pop the Gopher trophy. With the cash that I'm earning, I went to visit Best Boy Krobus to finally purchase my 4th Star Drop, which gets us closer to the Mystery of the Star Drops trophy. And to add on to that, I also got another Star Drop for providing Obi-Wan Kenobi with a sweet gemberry. Don't know why, but I ain't complaining. But as my funds started to gain momentum, I eventually hit another monetary milestone by earning a grand total of 1,000,000 gold, which earns me the Millionaire trophy. Now, going back to the additions added to the house. With the new rooms comes a baby carriage, which means that we can now procreate with our beautiful wife. And it wasn't long before Penny gave birth to our first child, which brings us very close to getting the full house trophy. At this point, all I needed for the community center were 3 apples and a pomegranate, both of which don't grow until the fall season. So to pass the time, I thought I would attempt to get the museum completed, as I only needed 3 minerals and 3 artifacts. Those artifacts being the strange doll, the chewing stick, and the golden mask. Now the strange doll can thankfully be a guaranteed drop for as long as you have obtained secret note number 18, which has a random chance of dropping from like everything. And thankfully I already had the note and just needed to dig up the spot designated by said note in the desert. However, acquiring everything else I needed came down to luck, as every mineral I was missing could only be feasibly obtained via geodes. And I don't know if you know this by now, but the RNG gods do not like me.
Alright, here we go. Have that. Have that. Copper ore, please no. Oh, please no, don't do this. Coal, oh my god, it's a downward spiral. Fucking stone, that's great. I'm getting stoned. Oh, copper, oh good. Yay me. Oh man, fire quartz, that's great. I'll shut up now. I'll shut up now. Oh, I'm shutting the fuck up now. Heramites, please. Please, Heramite. Fuck. I really mean it. Please, just one new thing. Celestine, okay. All right, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. That was like, okay. All right, I'm good. I think it's hematite. Yes! Okay, one more thing. I just need limestone now. I only need limestone.
And spoiler alert, I did not get limestone before the fall season. But since it was fall, my trees were able to produce 3 apples and a pomegranate, which would then finally conclude my near 2-year quest for completing the community center, thus popping the local legend trophy. Immediately after the ceremony, I went up north towards the railroad to find Dr. Strange staring at a blocked off hole, and despite me not really asking, he kinda dumps on me about his ex-wife.
But now it must be unsealed, for when we separated, she took my magic ink. What, come? I need that. His face. Need that magic ink back, bro. He's down bad.
With this new quest, we're able to access both the mutant bug lair as well as the witch's swamp, which both house the slimejack and the void salmon respectively. And with both these fish caught, all that was left were the fish only obtainable in Ginger Island. Now, to get to Ginger Island, you first need to fix Willie's boat, which requires 5 battery packs, 200 hardwood, and 5 iridium bars, all of which I already had, thankfully.
All right. Yes. 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 Immediately fixed. Okay, cool. I gotta wait a f***ing day.
And upon docking, my fishing senses were tingling, and I immediately went to work to catch the lionfish and the blue discus, which just meant that the stingray was the only thing stopping me from getting both the Master Angler trophy as well as another star drop for my troubles. However, the stingray is located in the Pirate's Cove, a place only accessible once the beach resort is built, which requires a specific amount of Ginger Island exclusive form of currency called golden walnuts. These walnuts can be obtained in various ways across the island, whether it be finding them, solving puzzles, or swinging your axe at random areas because why not? And after several hours of dicking around, I managed to scrounge together enough golden walnuts to put together the beach resort and access the Pirate's Cove to catch the last fish I needed for the Master Angler trophy.
Yes! Finally!
In the following morning, I would also be mailed another star drop from Willie for catching every single fish in the game, bringing me oh so very close to the mystery of the star drop trophy. And it wasn't too long after this when I'd level up all of my skills to level 10, which would earn me the Master of the 5 Ways trophy as well. Now's about a good time to tell you of the odyssey I embarked on to obtain the Golden Mask, the final thing I needed to complete the museum. You see, somewhere along the way of getting Master Angler, I managed to find some limestone and a chewing stick, 2 items that I was still missing in the museum. But for some reason, the Golden Mask eluded me. There are 2 ways of obtaining one. The first way is by having a chance to dig it up in the desert from an artifact spot, which didn't work for me for several seasons in a row. And the other way is to open it up by chance from an artifact trove, which is what I opted to do. You can easily acquire artifact troves from the desert trader by trading in 5 Omni Geodes, which I would farm from spelunking in the Skull Caverns. However, my first set of poles didn't provide me with a golden mask.
Please give me the golden mask.
And then my second set of poles didn't have one either.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Whose dick do I gotta suck to get a golden mask out here?
I think I even obtained every single artifact at one point except for the golden mask. Until...
Can I get the golden mask, please?
Finally!
And out of like a total of, I think 50, no, it's in the hundreds. A total of like 100 or so pulls, it finally gave me the golden mask. It's done. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god, I've been working so hard to get all of that. I could cry. I could honestly cry.
My next big endeavor was to finally make some friends in Stardew because making friends in the real world is too much for me. But before I started work on that, I did get a few quick trophies out of the way first, those being Cook for cooking 10 different recipes, and Artisan for crafting 30 different items. Now back to rizzing up villagers. As I've said before, the most effective way to improve your friendships in Stardew Valley is by gifting each villager their loved items twice a week, as well as exhausting their dialogue once every day. It's also important to pay attention to the calendar in the middle of Pelican Town so that you know when to gift someone one of their loved items on their birthday, which multiplies your earned friendship points by 8. And while doing all of this, I think someone realized who they were missing out on.
I thought it would be fun to write you a note. I had so much fun with the cows yesterday. Oh god. I'm starting to understand why you chose the farmer's life. Hope to see you soon, Haley. I'm married? I'm married. I just want to let you know that I'm f***ing married, okay? Alright, I'm married.
But anyways, nothing else was really interesting enough to cover during this grind, so here are all the friendship-related trophies. Also, in the middle of this, I was cooking some recipes to use as gifts, and eventually I cooked 25 different recipes and almost didn't record when I popped the sous chef trophy.
Whoops. What? How did that count? Oh, it's 25. Whoops. I thought it was 30. I didn't think I needed to record right then, but I'm clearly wrong.
And then later, Penny also popped out a beautiful baby boy, giving me the Full House trophy, which is for getting married and having 2 kids. Over the course of the last in-game year, I made sure to ship 15 of each crop across all seasons, which would earn me the Polyculture trophy. Now the next project to tackle is to cook every single recipe in the game for the Gourmet Chef trophy, and this trophy can be very annoying if you weren't knowledgeable of a few things early on. Since the beginning of my playthrough, I have made sure to tune into the Queen of Sauce show every Sunday for the first 2 in-game years, as you earn a cooking recipe each day from doing so. If you miss one, you better hope you catch a rerun of it eventually on a Wednesday, or else your ass is cooked. One thing to note, it would behoove you to make friends with Leo while working towards the various friendship level trophies, as he gives you 2 recipes that you'll need for the Gourmet Chef trophy. Don't make the same mistake that I did by not doing that. Now thankfully I had every other recipe completed throughout my playthrough at this point, except for mango sticky rice. So after a 5-hour session of leveling Leo's friendship to 7 hearts, I finally got the recipe in the mail to make the last dish and earned the Gourmet Chef trophy.
Yes.
Gourmet Chef!
It's done.
Yeah, banana bread. I'm proud of you, Sky. You did it.
Now on to the next grind in this game.
You named yourself Lord Bald and your dog's name is Dinner.
Oh my god.
What?
It's you know, if he misbehaves, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what I think about it.
Oh my god.
Not long after that, I would begin to finish work on the Full Shipment trophy, which is for, you guessed it, shipping every item. Now, it doesn't literally mean every item. If that was the case, I'd probably die of a heart attack. Instead, you have to ship every item listed in the shipping log, which of course by this point I already had mostly done, including caviar, which can only be acquired by having a pond filled with sturgeons in it. If I were to go over every single little thing I did for every trophy, we'd be here all day, alright? Give a ball a break, eh? The only items I was missing by this point, among a few easily accessible items, were an ostrich egg, tea leaves, and of course, green tea. The ostrich egg can be acquired in one of two ways. One, you find it randomly in a rare volcano dungeon chest, which, yeah, no. Or two, acquire jungle scrap number 10, which are Ginger Island's equivalent to the base game's secret notes, and in this case, I did just that.
Ostrich egg, thank God. Oh my God, that took so long to get. Finally.
All that's left now are tea leaves, which, I will admit, I didn't know that they only grew in the final week of each season, so it kind of explains my reaction here.
Tea leaves! Finally! Oh my God, it's time.
And with that, I shipped a tea leaf and some green tea and popped the full shipment trophy. I then quickly grinded out some requests and popped the Big Help trophy about 3 years into the game. And the next grind I wanted to take on is to fulfill the hit list requirements in the Adventure Guild, and I want to preface this by saying this trophy can apparently glitch on you if you save the 150 magma sprites last, so with the fear of God set in my heart, I made sure to tackle that first and promptly got it done. With the rest of the requirements I had left, I kinda just turned my brain off and listened to some Critical Role while I absolutely decimated the local innocent monster population, and eventually after dunking on my 150th serpent, I popped the Protector of the Valley trophy. Now comes the massive task that is Craft Master. For this trophy, you must craft every single item in the game, most of which you have to find recipes for, and said recipes can be easily missed if you weren't paying the right amount of attention for them. For example, in order to craft the deluxe scarecrow, you must obtain all 8 rare crows first, most of which are tied to seasonal events, and if you miss one, well, guess you gotta wait another year. But thankfully, as with most of the grind-based trophies at this point, I only had a few things left to craft, and so I completed the necessary quests to acquire recipes for things like the ostrich incubator or monster musk. However, I of course forgot I needed a mineral and an artifact to craft 2 items, a marble brazier and the farm computer. And knowing what the RNG gods put me through earlier, I was filled with an all too familiar sense of dread.
I'm sure now that I'm looking for it, I'm gonna not get it and get the golden mask plenty of times. If I get it twice, if I get the golden mask twice, I'm gonna be a little upset. 1 golden mask? Really? Okay, good. Alright, okay. I can calm down. I was about to be irate. Okay. I'm not gonna complain. Damn. The first try. Or, well, first wave. You know what I'm trying to say.
And once I gathered all my materials together, I crafted the last couple of items I needed and finally popped the Craft Master trophy. At this point in the game, I was practically bathing in dosh, and so it did not take long after this for me to reach a cumulative amount of 10 million gold, which would in turn pop the Legend trophy. I then started a quick little playthrough to join the dark side by completing the community center under a membership with JojaMart. And it wasn't long before I sold the rest of my soul to corporate America to fully upgrade the community center in order to earn the trophy. With that finished, brings us to the end of this journey, with only one thing left to do.
What do you want from me there? There's nothing you can do about that. No! Fuck!
This minigame is really fun. For the uninitiated, Journey to the Prairie King is a throwback twin-stick shooter complete with multiple levels, bosses, upgrades, and bullshit deaths.
What do you want from me there?
And clearly, as you can tell by the game overs, I wasn't really trying to do it in one go at first, as I wanted to at least learn what each level had in store for me, But damn, dude, the second area with the forest did some irreparable damage to my gaming mitochondria.
Oh my god. I have been at this for f***ing hours. And I cannot get past this, like, set of levels. I'm... This cutesy-ass game just turned into the most frustrating thing in the f***ing world.
But then something shifted, and I started to take my runs more seriously by actually trying to complete the game without dying, now that I more or less understood the road ahead of me, in which, by the way, I didn't, but we'll get there. I then beat the copy and pasted boss from World 1, and at last I was in the third and final world. And I had no idea what was in store for me.
Oh my god. Ridiculous. What the fuck? What? What the fuck? What?
And this is when I realized that despite me overcoming World 2, World 3 was what really made this trophy nearly impossible, and that this game mode didn't deserve the respect I was giving it. And so I made the ultimate decision of using the mechanic introduced in 1.5 that allows you to quit out and continue your session of Prairie King the next day. And if you die, you just restart your day and try the level again without the death counting. And let me tell you, Twitch chap, the second to last level in World 3 is probably one of the most unbalanced gaming experiences I have ever had.
Immediately? Immediately? Like, what do you... What? Okay. You just spawn them everywhere. That's cool. Alright, that one's my fault. That one is my fault. That is totally my fault.
But after getting tired of having my ass reshaped, I felt a disturbance in the Junimo spirit realm.
Oh, I did it! I did it! Oh shit, let's go. Is it done? I don't have it in me to scream. I don't. I'm just... I'm so happy to be done. Oh my god, finally, bro. Press button for a more difficult journey. F that. Suck my dick from the back. Hell no.
Stardew Valley is a game I see myself playing for the rest of my life with how much variety and content is packed into this game, made by one person. If it weren't for Prairie King, I'd give this game a much lower difficulty rating, but with the strat that I use for Prairie King, I'd give Stardew Valley a difficulty rating of 7 out of 10. If it weren't for the quit out strategy, I think I would give Stardew a 10 out of 10 difficulty rating, if I'm being completely honest. I hope you guys enjoyed my Valley Girl vacation. While I did record this one off stream, I do 95% of my trophy hunting adventures over on Twitch. It's the same name over there. Thank you all for watching. The next video is finally gonna be the 5K sub special, the Outlast Series, so be on the lookout for that. Y'all take care, and always remember to eat ass forever.